The first dilemma is from Anonymous. So a girl left me on red, so I started working out. I start to slim down and put some muscle on. Now this girl is giving me attention. Should I even give her a chance since she didn't give me a chance when I wasn't at my best? Now, Anonymous, I'm gonna keep it real with you, okay? This is just my personal opinion, my personal perspective, but I've never been the type of person to give people second chances. If you didn't like me back then, you don't get to like me right now. Okay, that's usually how I look at things. And in the past, that was me coming from a place of resentment. Okay, I remember specifically telling my friends that I would never date a girl that I went to high school with simply because the girls that I went to high school with didn't show me attention when we were in school together. So no matter what level of success I get to, I don't want to get reacquainted with people who didn't show me the attention that I wanted back then. But what I also realized over time is that while it is good to distance yourself from people that make their affection and attention contingent on the way that they perceive you, as opposed to having an unconditional sense of affection and connection towards you, I feel like it's better to come from a place of just leveling up to the extent that you only allow certain energies into your life. Not because you hate this girl, okay? You don't want to cut her off just because you hate her. You want to cut her off because you deserve better. Okay, part of loving yourself is letting go of people who don't give you the time of day unless you're at your absolute best. Okay, and as this girl has clearly shown you, she is one of those people. She is a prime example of what many people call hypergamy, where people, not just women, okay, a lot of people think it's just women, but where people only want to interact with the people who are at the top of the food chain. Now, if something happens, okay, knock on wood, but if, let's say, for example, you got injured and you weren't able to work out and you got out of shape again, she'd leave you, okay? And you deserve to be surrounded by people that would not leave you when you're not able to function at your highest capacity. Okay, it's just a matter of loving yourself, bro. You have to love yourself enough to surround yourself with people who like you for you. Now, that's not to say that you should just stick with people even when they're engaging in self-destructive or even behaviors that are destructive towards you or other people around them. Okay, but from what I could tell, it doesn't seem like you were doing anything that would be detrimental to her well-being. It's just that you weren't at your absolute best, therefore she wasn't feeling you, and now she is. Like I said, you don't want people like that to be a consistent part of your life. Trust me when I tell you that. Now with that being said, the next dilemma is from Anonymous. Hey Jordan, I appreciate your videos. I appreciate your support, Anonymous. Thank you. I just wanted to get your advice on NoFap. Do you think people feeling they're in a crisis or a lack self-confidence are more likely to suffer from porn addiction? I thought it was odd from reading up on statistics that the majority of the population don't fap or watch porn on a regular basis. I want to stop right there, okay, because I think that that's cap. I think that that is absolute cap. I think most people, I'm assuming that this was from a survey or something, but I think that most people probably just answered no just because they wanted to spare themselves the embarrassment, or maybe they couldn't face the fact that they are addicted. But I digress. I would think that only the people suffering from personal issues are the ones who suffer from addiction. Same for smoking. Not to say that the NoFap community is composed of only deviants, but do you think people need to work on their self-confidence in order to achieve any progress in NoFap? So here's the thing about that, man. I feel like NoFap is a means of building self-confidence, but NoFap has to come from a place of self-love. Now, yes, okay, PMO addiction is just one expression of a lack of self-love, especially the P part, okay? If you're watching pornography, the chances are that deep down, you are living vicariously through the people that you're watching, and you feel like you're either incapable or unworthy of finding love in your life. And so you replace the desire for love with a simulated fulfillment of your desire for lust. And that's what leaves people feeling empty. That's why you feel empty after you relapse, okay? Because you know deep down that you're seeking something deeper, but you don't think that you're worthy or capable of acquiring that experience. So yes, I do think that a lot of people who deal with PMO addiction, they struggle with self-love. And that's why I always say that you have to love yourself thoroughly. You have to love yourself at the foundational level if you want to succeed on NoFap, and if you want to be able to build that confidence and that discipline that comes from doing NoFap for extended periods of time. Okay, now NoFap is a little bit different than trying to overcome an addiction to cigarettes or drinking or gambling or anything like that, because porn is much more accessible than any of those things, especially if you're underage. Okay, if you're underage, you can't just go in any store and get cigarettes or alcohol or go into a casino and gamble or anything like that. You have to go out of your way to indulge in these addictions. Whereas with pornography, you can hypothetically be 8 years old and be fully addicted to pornography before you even hit puberty. Okay, so by the time you hit puberty, those connections are already present in your brain. And now it's going to take you a very, very long time. It's going to take a deep amount of self-forgiveness for you to overcome that addiction. So in short, yes, I do believe that the people who are suffering from personal issues are the most susceptible to PMO addiction or any other addiction, because people are looking for escapes. They're looking for forms of escapism as opposed to giving themselves the love that they deserve in the first place. Self-love is the key to overcoming any addiction, and self-love starts with self-forgiveness. Always remember that. The next dilemma is from Anonymous. Again, okay. Hi, I currently spend a lot of money on fast food. I'm trying to eat healthier and save money. I don't know how to cook. Any advice? Okay, well, me personally, I'm vegan, so it's a little more difficult. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I don't really cook too much anymore. Most of my meals are made in the oven because I just don't like allocating the time. But I would advise you to stick to the basics and learn how to cook very simple meals. Okay, learn how to cook simple meals. Eating out, eating fast food, it may be a little bit cheaper than eating healthy, but those hospital bills are going to compensate for that. Okay, when you're 30 years old with clogged arteries and you're having to go to the hospital, it's going to catch up with you. Okay, so understand that if you're going to prioritize anything, you have to prioritize your health because you can't get another body. Now, with that being said, you're 20 years old. I don't know if you live on your own or what your living situation is, but if you're purchasing your own food, I would highly advise you to go and just stick with the basics, man. Get bread, peanut butter, bananas, get, I don't know, pasta, things like that, man. Very simple things that are on the food pyramid that give you a whole well-balanced diet. Okay, don't spend all of your money on fast food, bro. And you're saying that you spend a lot of money on fast food. If you're going to spend a lot of money on food, you might as well spend that money on healthy food anyways, right? So get yourself healthy food, stick to whole foods like I said, focus on foods with as few ingredients as possible, and that will allow you to not only save money because you'll be able to budget for your food expenses a lot easier by grocery shopping, but you'll also acquire a new skill, cooking, and in addition to that, you'll be healthier. The next dilemma is from Ivan X Apina. I know I said that one wrong and I apologize. I apologize if you're watching this, but hi Jordan. I have a crush at my university and I love her so much. Okay, hold on real quick, bro. Hold on real quick, man. I'm assuming you're from another country based on your name. So maybe you just use the L word a little more loosely, or maybe the translation is a little bit different, bro. But when you talk about a crush and love don't go in the same sentence together, bro. Crush and love do not go in the same sentence together. You are deeply infatuated with this girl. You are deeply infatuated. You are not, you don't love her yet, man. You don't love her yet. If you do love her, she is not just a crush. I digress. She's free and friendly, but says that she can't date her fellow schoolmate. What can I tell her to change her mind? I hate to be the one to tell you this, man. I really do, bro, because I've been in a situation like that where you want to change somebody's mind, but this is the truth of the matter, man. And this doesn't just apply to dating. This is with life in general. You can't change people. You cannot change people. People can only change themselves. A good example of this is me doing YouTube, me making these self-improvement videos. Okay, I can't change you guys' lives. I'm not changing your lives. I'm showing you how to change your own life. Hence why it's called self-improvement. In the same way, you can't change this girl, bro. You can't change her. You can't convince her. You can't persuade her. You can't manipulate her. You can't change her. And that shouldn't be your goal. Okay, all you can do is be your best self. And if she likes you, then she likes you. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But at the end of the day, man, you have to control what you can control. Like I said, you can't change people. You can't change her. she has to change herself. So focus on being the best version of you that you can be. Maybe continue talking to this girl if you can. Maybe even build up a friendship with her. Play the long game. But don't go in with the expectation of making her conform to your desires. Let her be her. Let her stay true to the boundaries that she set with herself. And if she changes her mind in the future and you're still single and interested, that's great. Then it was meant to be. But clearly right now, bro, you got to let her go. You got to let her go. Like I said, you could be friends with her. You could keep talking to her at school or even hanging out with her outside of school. But you got to let go of the notion that she is going to conform to your expectations, because that's not fair to her and that's not fair to you either.